Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about my dog emergency exit plan. So I live in the UK and we're really lucky in that we don't have tornadoes or earthquakes or anything like that. But I know that you people are watching from all over the world. And so whereas the only emergency I really will ever have to deal with is probably a house fire, possibly flooding. Some places in the UK get terribly flooded. It's terrible for them. Luckily where I live it's not a problem we have. So my biggest problem that I could ever possibly encounter is if my house was on fire. But I know you watch all around the world and you will have problems that I can't even imagine. And so you may well need to think about your dog emergency exit plan. So I aim everything basically as if there was a house fire, just because that's my biggest risk. So we have that for all the humans. We just know what the procedure is if there's a fire. And so I have one for dogs. So I've got 3 dogs. So obviously, there's another one over there and another one behind me. I've got 3 dogs. So I need to make sure that if the house was on fire, I know that I could get them all out really quickly. And so I've just put a plan in place. Me and my husband talked about it. We know what it is. We put things into place. And like so much stuff with dogs that is not very nice, I put things into place. I know they're there and then I just forget about it. I get on with my life. Hopefully I will never need this plan. But if I do, it's there and I know what to do. So this is my hallway. Now, luckily, my house isn't very big. I've only got the sitting room and the kitchen and a downstairs bathroom off this hallway. So that makes it quite easy for me because it means that what I do is, so this would be my central point and my escape route. So that's my front door. So that would be my escape route. So the first thing that I do is after my walk, when I come in, I hang. So I'm in my kitchen now and I hang. So on my door, sorry, I just bashed you. Sorry. So here is, so one of my dog has a collar and the other 2 have harnesses. So I hang them on this door here. And then behind the door, that is my bum bag that I take out when I go walking. So the plan would be that I grab this lot. So I grab all of them quickly. I grab that. So that's got just stuff that I would need, keys, stuff like that. So I grab this. And so I'd have all the harnesses and all the collars in my hand. And then here, I've got all my leads. They just hang here. So this is our bathroom. And they just hang here on the bathroom door. And I've got all of them. So if there's a fire and I got to this point, I just need to grab all the harnesses and all the leads. Very easy. I always know where they are. I always put them there. And I just know. It also makes, the other reason that I do this is because obviously it makes it easier when we go out for walks. But also, even if it's not raining, even if it's just the grass has been a bit wet, leads and collars get very wet. And so it's a good way for them to dry out. So my plan is that once I've grabbed my leads and my harnesses, I open the front door and I run out. Now, we're very lucky in that we've got a front garden and it's got a little fence around it that the dogs can't climb over. So what I would do if there was an emergency, grab my leads, grab my harnesses, open the door and run. I wouldn't even grab the dogs because I know for absolutely certain that if I ran out the front door, the dogs would all follow me. I've tested it a few times and they get very excited because they know that's where we go for a walk. They don't really understand why they haven't got their leads on. They just get very excited. And every time I've tried it, they have ran out the door with me. So I'm really confident that if there was a fire, my dogs would all run out of the house with me. Obviously, if for some reason one of them didn't, I would go and get them without question. But I'm really sure that they would all run out of the house with me. So assuming that I'm on my own by myself, when I'm outside, out the front, the first thing I would do is phone 999 in the UK. You obviously phone whatever number you phone to get the fire brigade. I would then put the harnesses and collars and leads on the dogs. But you need to make sure that when you run outside your house, your dogs can't escape. And I know my dogs can't. They can't get over the fence. It's too high for them. So I know that they're safe in the front garden for me to phone the fire brigade and then for me to get their leads on. obviously it's incredibly important that if I ever have to do this, that I stay as calm as I can. That obviously isn't easy, but the calmer I am, the calmer they are, and if they're calm, I can get their leads and collars on them much quicker. Right, so obviously this is my stairs. So upstairs we've got 3 bedrooms, and so in the central bedroom I have 3 spare harnesses. Now the reason that I go for harnesses upstairs, because one of my dogs, Humps, he actually gets walked on a collar. But the reason that I have a harness upstairs for him is because I think if I ever had to lower him out of a window upstairs, then obviously I can't do that on a collar, I'd strangle him, but I could do it on a harness. So if I needed to lower him out of a window to somebody waiting downstairs, it would be much easier to do that on a harness. So I have 3 harnesses upstairs and I have 3 leads upstairs, and they're in the central bedroom. I know where they are. Like I said, probably never going to need them in my life, but I've just got them. I just know where they are. So one problem that I have with my little plan is that Humps here, he doesn't always come upstairs with us. Sometimes he sleeps downstairs on the sofa. The problem with that being that if we're upstairs and there's a fire down here, yeah, sure, I've got my plan of how I can get the dogs out the window, but Humps could be down here. You know, I'm not obviously going to recommend anything to anybody. You know, what you choose to do in that situation is obviously up to you. I personally know I would run through a fire to rescue one of my dogs. I have no question about that. But obviously you've got to be sensible about it, and make sure that no one's going to get hurt. But it is the only slip up in my plan, that we do kind of all need to be together. What I kind of hope, and I know, you know, it's probably not the best thing to just hope, but that if there was any kind of fire down here, that he would bark and that would alert me. Maybe before the smoke alarm went off, I don't know. That is the other thing to consider, that when this is all happening in my house, we would have smoke alarms going off. So that is very, very noisy, and so that alone is going to be the potential to panic them. So it's really important that I stay calm and that I get them out of the house. When I was young, little, well, I was about 10, 12, something like that, we did have a house fire. We were having dinner, and the plug socket above the cooker, which was right by the table, is suddenly just burst into flames. Some kind of electrical fault, and it caught. We had like an aluminium blind over the window, which was next to it, and it caught the blind, and the whole thing just went up and over the top of us really, really quickly. At the time, we didn't have any dogs, but we did have 4 cats, and we were lucky, really, in a way that you know, 2 parents, and there were 3 of us, 3 children there then. So there was enough of us one person to run out and phone the fire brigade, other people to get the cats out. And so maybe I'm a little bit more alert to it all than need be. Maybe I am, I don't know. But I just know I've lived through a very sudden, quick house fire, and how quickly the house went up. I've just lived through it, and so that I know that it can happen, and that I just need to make sure that I've got a good plan so that me and my boys would get out, and obviously my husband. Obviously this would all be a lot easier if my husband were here with me. And you know, there's a massive chance that he would be, but if it happens when he's not here, then I need to make sure that on my own I've got a good plan in place. And obviously once I've got the boys out the front on the leads, I need to get them away from the house, and then the fire brigade will turn up. And obviously it would be a very stressful time for them, because you've got the fire brigade turning up, they're big and noisy, and all of that happening. So probably what I would do is see if one of the neighbours would maybe take them into their house, or I would stay with them, but maybe, you know, just to be aware to just get them away from the situation, and just really, as much as you can, to stay calm yourself. And also, if it ever does happen to you, just to be aware that afterwards the dogs will be quite shaken up, and so just to be aware of that. So like I said, hopefully I'm never ever going to need to use this plan ever. Hopefully you will never have to use an emergency exit dog plan, but I just, like, you know, I'm very prepared as a dog owner. I've got 3 dogs. I can't risk slipping up if I'm on my own with them. I need to make sure that I can get all 3 of them out of the house safely. So, yeah, hopefully I'm never going to need it, but it's just there if I ever do. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.